It's 2:17 a.m., rain's tapping the window like it's trying to get my attention. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor, back against the bed frame, journal open, but blank. Just blank. Not even a doodle in the corner. My pen's hovering, heavy in my hand like it knows I don't actually have anything useful to say. Again. You know that feeling? When you've read all the right books, watched all the right videos, repeated the affirmations until your throat's dry, and still, nothing moves? Like you're standing at the edge of something huge, something that should be within reach, and yet your feet won't step forward. Or maybe they do, but the ground just stays solid, unchanged. I've been thinking about manifestation a lot lately. Not the flashy kind with vision boards covered in luxury cars and tropical beaches. I mean the quiet kind. The kind where you just want one thing to finally click into place. For me, it was this internship. A real shot at working. With a team that actually builds things that matter. I pictured it so clearly. The Slack notifications lighting up my screen, the smell of coffee in a shared kitchen, the weight of a laptop that wasn't mine but felt like it could be. I'd sit here, same spot, eyes closed, breathing slow, telling myself, "This is already yours, you're already there," and for a few minutes, it felt true, warm, certain. Then my phone would buzz, a reminder for laundry, a meme from a friend, and the whole thing would dissolve like sugar in cold tea. Gone. Actually, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I treated it like a spell. Like, if I got the words exactly right, said them with enough conviction, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, would owe me an outcome. But that doesn't feel honest, does it? Life doesn't work like a vending machine. You don't press B3 for confidence or A7 for opportunity and get what you paid for. It's almost as if the simplicity is the trap. Because on the surface it is simple. Pay attention. Feel what you want as if it's real. Let go of the how. Done. But try doing that when your bank account's blinking red. Try doing that when your resume gets another automated rejection email that starts with, "We were impressed by your application," but ends with "not moving forward." Try doing that when part of you is whispering, "Who are you kidding?" I mean, who am I to expect things to shift just because I changed my thoughts? And yet, there are moments. Tiny ones. Like last Tuesday, when I was walking to campus, headphones in, replaying that same old loop of self-doubt. And then I saw this little kid chasing a runaway balloon. He wasn't crying. He was laughing. Full body, arms flailing, completely unbothered by the fact that he might never catch it. And something in me just softened. For a second I wasn't thinking about the internship or my GPA or whether I'll ever figure it out. I was just there, watching the sky, breathing. Maybe that's closer to what people mean by quantum stuff. Not some mystical force bending reality to your will, but this weird fluid space where possibility lives before it hardens into fact. Like, before you decide you failed, before you label the day bad, there's this shimmering moment where everything's still open. I don't know. Maybe this is just a perspective, but what if manifestation isn't about pulling something toward you? What if it's about not pushing it away with fear, impatience, or the need to control every single step? It sounds too easy. That's why nobody does it. Because sitting with uncertainty, letting go of the script, that's terrifying. Way harder than repeating affirmations in the mirror while checking your email every 10 seconds. Anyway, my laptop fan just kicked on. That low, steady hum it makes when I've had too many tabs open for too long. Chrome's eating memory again. Probably because I have 3 different job portals loaded, plus a half-written cover letter, plus a YouTube tutorial on Python decorators I keep meaning to finish. The sound is oddly comforting, mechanical, predictable. Unlike this whole trust the process thing, which feels more like free fall than flight. Outside, the rain's slowing, just a soft patter now. The streetlight across the road casts a yellow puddle on the sidewalk, rippling every time a drop hits. I close the journal, not because I figured it out, but because maybe just noticing the rain is enough for tonight. Simplicity is a trap, not because it's false, but because we mistake it for passivity. Like if it's simple, it must be easy, and if it's easy, it shouldn't hurt. But that's not how it works. Actually, the simplest things are often the hardest to sit with. Breathing, listening, being still. Try it right now. Just sit without reaching for your phone, without planning your next sentence, without judging the silence. Go ahead. I'll wait. See? Your mind probably raced off within 10 seconds. Mine always does. That's the real friction with manifestation. Not the how, but the not doing. We're wired to fix, to chase, to optimize. So when someone says, just align with what you want, our brain immediately asks, how? What's the exact frequency? What time of day? Should I light a candle? We turn surrender into another task on the to-do list. To be honest, I used to think that was the key. Precision. Like if I got my emotional state calibrated just right, reality would mirror it back perfectly. But then I met Lena. Lena was one of those people who seemed to have cracked the code. She'd left her corporate job, moved to a tiny coastal town, started painting again after 20 years. Her Instagram was all golden hour sunsets and handwritten quotes about flow. And she swore it was all because she'd mastered her vibration. She got everything she said she wanted. And yet, last time we talked over a crackling Zoom call during a power outage, she whispered something that stuck with me. I don't feel any lighter. She had the studio, the freedom, the peace she'd visualized for years. But inside, still that same old ache, that quiet hum of, is this all? It made me wonder, what if we're manifesting the wrong layer? What if we're so focused on the outer form, the job, the relationship, the bank balance, that we forget to ask whether it actually nourishes us? Maybe that's why so many people burn out right after success. They climbed the mountain they thought would heal them, only to find it was built on borrowed longing. On the other hand, there's my cousin Dev. Dev never talked about manifestation, didn't journal, didn't meditate, unless you count zoning out to lo-fi beats while debugging code. He just stopped trying so hard. After his startup failed, he took a temp job at a community garden. No grand plan, no 5-year vision, just soil under his nails and early mornings. And somehow, within a year, he was invited to co-design an urban farming app with a nonprofit. Same skills, same passion, but this time, it fit. Not because he forced it, but because he finally stopped white-knuckling the outcome. It's almost as if every choice we make ripples into 1,000 unseen paths. Not in a sci-fi way, more like when you choose to walk slowly instead of rushing. You notice the bakery you've passed 100 times but never entered. Or when you say, I don't know, instead of faking confidence, someone offers help you didn't know you needed. That's the quantum part for me. Not particles or waves, but possibility. The sense that reality isn't fixed until we live it. That between stimulus and response, there's this breath-sized gap where everything could go differently. But we skip it. Every time. We fill the gap with noise, with plans, with fear disguised as preparation. Because staying in that open space, it's vulnerable. It means admitting you don't control the story. And that's terrifying when you've been taught your whole life that worth equals results. Anyway, this morning I woke up before my alarm. 5:48 a.m. Pale light seeping through, the blinds, throat dry, mind already racing about a deadline. I shuffled to the kitchen barefoot, and God, the tile was cold, like sharp cold. The kind that shoots up your spine and wakes up every sleepy cell in your body. I stood there for a second, just feeling it. Not thinking about tea yet, not even about the day. Just cold tile under my feet. Real, immediate. Then I filled the kettle, watched the steam curl as it heated, Listened to the quiet gurgle before the whistle. In that moment, nothing was missing. No need to manifest anything, no need to raise my frequency or align my energy. Just being here with the warmth building in my hands, the cold fading from my soles. Maybe that's the secret no one talks about. Manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about wanting what's already possible and noticing it before it slips away. But saying that out loud feels dangerous, like I'm undermining hope, or effort, or ambition. I'm not. I just think maybe the reason nobody does it, even though it's simple, is because it asks us to trust life before it gives us proof. And that's not simple. That's radical. Let's be real. Manifestation can sound like gaslighting, like someone telling a single mom working 2 jobs, just vibrate higher. Or a person with chronic pain being told, your illness is just your energy attracting it. That's not insight, that's cruelty wrapped in spiritual glitter. And honestly, I get why people roll their eyes, because when you're drowning, think positive isn't a lifeline, it's salt in the wound. I've seen it happen. Friends who lost jobs during the pandemic scrolling through Instagram posts like, abundance flows to those who believe, while their fridge was empty. It doesn't heal. It isolates. Makes you feel broken for not manifesting your way out of systemic failure. So no, manifestation isn't a substitute for healthcare, fair wages, or justice. It never was, but maybe, just maybe, it's not meant to fix the world alone. Maybe it's something quieter, something internal. Think of it less as a cosmic wish-granting machine and more as a nervous system tool. A way to stop pouring adrenaline into thoughts that already terrify you. Because let's face it, most of us aren't manifesting peace. We're manifesting anxiety disguised as preparation, rehearsing worst-case scenarios until they feel inevitable, and the body believes every word. So when someone says, align your frequency, what if they really mean, stop feeding your fear, with stories about how it'll all go wrong? Not because hardship won't come, but because living in dread 24/7 doesn't protect you. It exhausts you. Still, even knowing that, most of us don't do it. Why? Because hope hurts. If you've been disappointed enough times, if you've visualized, prayed, worked, begged, and still ended up on the floor, you learn to armor yourself. You stop wanting things too loudly. You mute your dreams so they don't echo in the silence of unmet expectations. That's not laziness. That's trauma. Your nervous system isn't being stubborn. It's trying to keep you safe. From the crash that comes after the high, from the shame of failing again. So it whispers, don't get your hopes up. Better to expect nothing, and honestly, that makes perfect sense. But here's the thing, manifestation at its core isn't about demanding outcomes. It's about softening your relationship with uncertainty. Not, I will get this, but I can hold space for this possibility without crumbling if it doesn't happen. Easier said than done, right? Last week I was waiting for the 42 bus. It was late, again. Rain had started, that fine mist that soaks you before you even notice. I was standing under the shelter, scrolling mindlessly, jaw clenched, already mentally rewriting my afternoon because of the delay. Then I looked down. 2 pigeons were squabbling over a single crumb near the bench. One pecked, the other flapped its wings. Then they circled each other like tiny feathered boxers. No grand strategy, no 5-year plan, just reacting to what was there, and life went on around them. Cars passed, people walked by. The bus didn't care. It hit me. They weren't manifesting lunch. They were just present with hunger. And somehow, that was enough. We're not pigeons, obviously. We have rent, responsibilities, real stakes. But maybe part of our resistance to simple practices like presence or trust comes from conflating surrender with passivity. Like if we stop fighting reality, we've given up. But surrender isn't resignation, it's clarity. It's saying, this is where I am. Now, what's actually true? What's within my control? What can I release? Manifestation? stripped of all the hype, might just be that. A daily return to honesty. Not, I deserve everything, but I'm here, and I'm willing to meet what comes with open eyes. Of course, that won't pay your bills, but it might stop you from burning out while you figure out how to. I know some will say this is still privileged thinking, and they're not wrong. Safety matters. Stability matters. You can't vibe your way out of oppression, but within your sphere of agency, even a small one, how you relate to your experience shapes your resilience, your creativity, your capacity to act, not just react. Maybe that's the real quantum shift. Not bending reality, but bending your attention away from fear long enough to see an option you missed. Still, none of this erases the fact that manifestation culture often ignores context, and that's dangerous. So if you're skeptical, good. Stay skeptical. Question everything. But also, be gentle with yourself if you've tried and felt nothing changed. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human, living in a world that's rarely simple, rarely fair. And yet, even here, in the mess, there's room to breathe, to soften, to stop treating hope like a liability, not because it guarantees results, but because living without it is its own kind of death. It's 2:17 a.m. again. Rain's still tapping the window, softer now, like it's tired too. I'm back in the same spot, same journal, but this time, I'm not waiting for an answer, not even writing one down. Just sitting with the quiet hum of the night, the distant groan of a fridge cycling on, the weight of my own breath. Funny how everything looks different when you stop demanding it to change. Earlier tonight, I would have called this failure. Blank page, Gary's, no progress, silence, nothing happening. But now, it feels like something else, like space, room for whatever wants to grow, not what I'm forcing to bloom. Maybe that's the real shift. Manifestation isn't about pulling your future towards you. It's about noticing what's already reaching back. The opportunities that show up disguised as detours. The peace that arrives not after the storm, but right in the middle of it, if you're still enough to feel it. It's almost as if the quantum field people talk about isn't some cosmic internet broadcasting wishes. Maybe it's just another name for attention. Deep, unclenched, patient attention. The kind that notices the way steam curls off a mug, or how a stranger's laugh sounds like relief, or how your chest loosens when you finally stop rehearsing tomorrow before you've lived today. And that's why nobody does it. Not because it's complicated, but because it asks for trust without receipts. No confirmation email, no progress bar, just you, standing in the unknown, choosing to believe that life isn't out to get you, even when it hurts. That's not passive, that's brave. Actually, it might be one of the bravest things we do. To stay open when every past wound whispers, close up. Protect yourself, expect the worst. To say gently, I don't know what's coming, but I won't meet it with clenched fists. This morning, I burned the toast. Again, was thinking about a T line from this script while shoving bread in the toaster, and smell hit me before I saw the smoke. That sharp, bitter scent of distraction. Imperfect, human. I laughed, scooped the blackened slice into the compost, made a new one, didn't spiral, didn't call myself lazy or unfocused, just moved on. And in that tiny moment I realized, maybe this is it. Not grand visions or perfect alignment, just showing up, burnt toast and all, and choosing kindness over criticism. Presence over performance. Because manifestation, stripped bare, isn't about becoming someone who never fails. It's about becoming someone who doesn't abandon themselves when they do, who stays curious, who keeps listening. Even at 2 a.m., with a blank page and rain on the glass. I don't know if any of this works in the way we've been taught to measure success. I can't promise you'll get the job, the love, the healing, the sign you're waiting for. And honestly, that's okay. Because maybe the point was never the destination, Maybe it was learning to walk without needing the path to be lit in advance. So, if you're here reading this in your own quiet hour, whether you believe in any of this or not, I hope you give yourself permission to rest, to doubt, to burn the toast, to sit with uncertainty without rushing to fill it. You don't have to manifest perfectly. You just have to be here, really here. And who knows, maybe that's where everything begins, not with a wish, but with a breath, not with control, but with curiosity. Before I close the journal tonight, I'll leave it open. Not because I expect words to appear magically, but because I'm done treating silence like emptiness. Sometimes the most honest thing you can write is nothing at all. Anyway, I'm curious. Have you ever noticed something shift? Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped looking away?